Welcome to the Everything Podcast, and in this episode, I'm going to be discussing the announcement of the Second Doctor Adventures, the potential Daleks. But before I get into that, I should mention I'm recording this episode on the 18th of September 2025. This announcement was actually made on the date that I recorded the last batch of episodes, because if you've listened to any episode of the podcast before, you'll know that I record the episodes in batches. And today's no different. So yeah, it was a few hours later, but obviously I didn't know that, so I couldn't wait for it. But I'm only doing it a couple of days later, and as long as it's before it's being released, which it is, it's all right. But as I said in this episode, I'm going to be discussing the announcement of the Second Doctor Adventures, the potential Daleks. So we're going to read the press release and go through it. So the press release is actually titled "The Secret of the Daleks Revealed." Here's the press release. Michael Troughton, Fraser Hines and Wendy Padbury battle their greatest enemies in the Second Doctor Adventures, the potential Daleks, coming December 2025. Then we have the cover for the Second Doctor Adventures, the potential Daleks, which obviously features the Second Doctor, as well as Jamie and Zoe, the Daleks, the TARDIS, and a volcano erupting and seemingly a house exploding. You should be able to see the cover if you're watching the YouTube episodes. If you're watching the speaker episodes, though, if you go to the podcast's X page, I've reposted Big Finish's announcement about it. So, yeah, you can see the cover there. But as I've mentioned in previous episodes, if you are just choosing those episodes or want to see the news before I'm able to talk about it, please go and follow. And is it follow on X? Yeah, follow the podcast's X page, because then you can see things instead of waiting days for me to talk about them. Let's carry on with the press release. The Second Doctor's post-War Games adventures continue in his next box set of full-cast audio dramas, and this time he's up against his arch-enemies from Skaro, the Daleks. The Second Doctor Adventures, the potential Daleks, picks up from where 2024's box set Conspiracy of Raven ended. The Doctor, played by Michael Troughton, Jamie, played by Fraser Hines, and Zoe, played by Wendy Padbury, along with the Doctor's Time Lord supervisor Raven, played by Emma Noakes, have been investigating the mysterious Kippers and the space-time archive known as the Vanishing Point. Now they've discovered a Dalek plot that threatens the whole universe. To stop the Daleks and the rise of eternal Skaro, they must battle from 19th century Earth to the edge of the universe. So this is a box set, as I said, so we've got 3 stories. So the 3 perilous new adventures for the Second Doctor are Humpty Dumpty, written by Nicholas Briggs, Secret of the Daleks, written by Mark Wright, and War of the Maury, written by Mark Wright and Nicholas Briggs. Now I'm going to go through each episode, the synopsis for each. So the synopsis for Humpty Dumpty is as follows. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, like the nursery rhyme. A nursery rhyme through time is on the brink of causing cosmic catastrophe, and for the Doctor, Jamie, Zoe and Raven, this is just the beginning of a final battle. A battle which began on Skaro. Then the synopsis for Secret of the Daleks is: the Daleks have returned, or have they? Following the lingering trail of the Daleks' space-time corridor, the time travellers are surprised when the TARDIS arrives on a tropical forest world, taking refuge with the population of a a peaceful village. The Doctor wonders if he has finally defeated his most terrible enemy. Is the secret of the Daleks about to be revealed? And then the synopsis for War of the Maury is: the Doctor and friends dash back to the Vanishing Point, hoping to warn Anik and the Maury of an impending invasion. However, what they discover is a fiendish plan, an operation, and a population in exile. Zoe must resort to an extraordinary use of her mental powers, while the Doctor, Raven and Jamie fight to restore order and save the universe. Jacqueline King, known as Sylvia Noble from TV Doctor Who, returns as Anik, the overseer of the Vanishing Point, who previously encountered the TARDIS crew in last year's Conspiracy of Raven. The Daleks are voiced by Nicholas Briggs, and the guest cast also includes Claire Corbett, Gary Turner and Callum Purdo. Producer Mark Wright said, after some unavoidable time distortion, the Second Doctor, Jamie, Zoe and Raven are back for more cosmic adventures set after the War Games. What a joy to be in the studio with the happy band of Michael, Fraser, Wendy and Emma. He also says, we felt it was time to bring things to a crescendo, but not a finale, and the potential Daleks has our time-travelling quartet facing a true invasion of time. The 3 stories in this box set follow a cosmic trail from 19th and 20th century Earth, so that's the 18th and 19th hundreds, to a lush forest world before a return to the vanishing point for a final reckoning. The Daleks have risen and are ready to conquer time itself. Great jumping gobstoppers, as the Doctor might say. So I don't know if did I say it? Yeah, it's coming out in December. Now, the second Doctor Adventures has been delayed. It was meant to release, I think, in July, but then it was pushed back to December. And we're getting it in December now, because I think it was only, I looked before I recorded this episode, and it was only recorded in June, so there was no way it would have been out by then. But it is all recorded now, and it is coming out in December. So let me know in the comments below what you thought of the announcement of the Second Doctor Adventures, the potential Daleks, as well as if you're planning to listen to it. Just reminded that I have covered Conspiracy of Raven, which is the previous Second Doctor Adventures box set in full. All my recaps for that are on the channel. And recently I've started uploading the trailers, so you can get a teaser of the Second Doctor Adventures Beyond War Games and James Robert McCrimmon as well. Actually today when I'm recording this, obviously not when you're seeing it. But without further ado, remember you can also like, comment and subscribe as well. And just a reminder that the podcast is now available on YouTube, as it always has been and will continue to do so. Please keep watching the YouTube episodes, because Matt spends a lot of time and effort working on them, so please keep watching. And obviously you won't get to see the cover if you're just listening to the Spreaker episodes. Kind of sport it, well, not sport it, but the episodes are now available on Spreaker, which is an audio platform. If you prefer to listen to the podcast as in an audio only format, that is now available, and you can find that by either going to the Spreaker website or going to the Podcast X page. You can find the link to the Spreaker there as well. But without further ado, I will see you in a future episode of the podcast. See you then. Goodbye.